Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for It Goes Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more. And also, we're on Podbean and also on Pandora, coming soon to Buzzsprout and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and you can also subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast, t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, and more. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also great merchandise like t-shirts, pop sockets, as well as phone cases and more. Amazon.com/Mia Mosensia. And don't forget to support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, as well as PayPal and Anchor FM support, themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you give generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who is the founder of Paving the Way Foundation, committed to empowering communities to stop the cycle of child trafficking and online exploitation as we celebrate recognize National Human Trafficking Month. And this all began with an award-winning film, Trapped in the Trade, which takes the audience through one girl's journey being targeted, groomed, recruited, and trapped into being sold for sex. And this lady has also spent 25 years as executive in sales and marketing with Time Warner, Bright House, United Nations, and more. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio somewhere in beautiful Orlando, Florida, the founder of Paving the Way Foundation and the very amazing Jan Edwards. Jan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello, Mike. What a warm. Can I just take you everywhere with me?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for.
And how you share the accomplishments. I'm like, they're going to be like, and so who's Jan? I'm going to be like, here, Mike will tell you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Well, it's great to have you on board, Jan, and you've got an amazing career. You spent 25 years as an executive in sales and marketing with Time Warner, Bright House, United Nations. You're also a founder of Paving the Way Foundation, committed to empowering communities to stop the cycle of child trafficking and online exploitation. And this whole thing began with the award-winning film Trapped in the Trade, which takes the audience through one girl's journey of being targeted, groomed, recruited, and trapped into being sold for sex. And of course, it's also a special month to recognize as well. We'll let you talk about that. And before getting to all that, Jan, tell us how you first got started.
Sure. So way back when I worked for corporate America, I was always involved. I was always part of something. I was always sitting on some board doing something. And when I left corporate America, I actually had an opportunity to go work for a startup, and that startup had a vision screener. It was very cool. Then as part of my sales process, it led me up to New York. And in New York, I was invited to go to the Get Health Summit at the UN. So that was pretty cool. So I was at the summit, and I'm listening to somebody talk, and this guy was this doctor was phenomenal, and he was sharing about all the challenges they were having in Africa with medicine. And I'm like, I got to talk to this guy. You know how you've ever been to a conference, Mike? And you're like, I don't know who you are, but I got to talk to you, right? Like that. So
I've been there. I've done that. And it's amazing. I'm like, wow, yes.
Right. Almost everybody's got that one story of that one person. And this was one of them. So his name's Dr. Mahari. He is a neurologist out of Tennessee, and he has a 501c3 called People to People, where he gathers the diaspora of Ethiopia to help the orphan children, right? So we just did it right off, and we exchanged numbers, text and some emails. And I was really looking forward to, learning more about what he was doing, because I was still working for the vision screening company, right? And I'm like, I want to take my vision screener to the world. And he's like, well, you know what? He goes, I'm going to have to talk to you when we get back from Ethiopia. And, can we talk next month? I'm like, sure, have a good time, send pictures. He sends me an email right back to Mike and goes, do you want to go?
Wow.
Yeah, it's not every day you get invited to go to Ethiopia. So I went.
Oh, and my gosh.
It was one of those, really, how often do you get invited, right? So I went, and we were there on a medical mission, and it was one of those evenings where we're driving back, and I was looking out the window. If anybody who's listening has ever been on a mission trip, at the end of the day, you're tapped, Mike. You're just tapped. You're tired. You're hungry. You want to shower. You want to eat. You want to go to bed. That's all you want to do, because you've given your heart, your soul, everything, right, to another human being or group of human beings. So I'm just looking out the window, and it was kind of a, evening, and I saw two older men and two younger girls, and it just didn't feel right. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things that you're like, okay, what? So when I got to back to my sponsor's house, both he and his wife are physicians, I shared with him what I saw. And he's like, oh yeah, Jan, that was human trafficking. Like, oh, Mike, let's go grab a cup of coffee. It was very weird. Now, you got to get, this is 2013. So there was no R. Kelly to talk about. There was no Epstein. There was no Maxwell. There was no Peter Nygaard. None of these high profile cases. So I'm staring at him, and I go, what are you talking about? And he said, Jan, we have 4.5 million orphans in Ethiopia. We're the number one source of human trafficking in the Middle East. And I'm staring at him again, because my brain's having a hard time connecting the synapses. All right. And I said, hang on a second. I said, are you telling me people are selling people?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh.
Right?
Unbelievable.
And he looks at me, right? And he looks at me like, where you been? He goes, Jan, this is $150 billion industry. And I'm still staring at him. My brain's still trying to absorb everything he's just said. And that's really when God laid it on my heart. And I came home, and I started to do some research. And when I found out that Florida has the third highest number of calls to the National Trafficking Hotline, I said, Ethiopia, I'm coming for you. But I got to fix my own backyard first. So that's really what we've been doing for the past 8 years is, helping pass legislation that makes a difference. Governor DeSantis down here just signed a piece of legislation last year that requires all schools to have human trafficking awareness and prevention education in our schools, K through 12.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Right. So, so we're getting in at the beginning because see, here's the thing, Mike, I'm going to give you 3 numbers because I educate wherever I go. It's not just talking about me and what we do. I want people left with this conversation educated and empowered so we can prevent it together. So I'm going to give you 3 numbers. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to number 10, the number 8, and the number 21.
10, 8, and 21. Okay.
Yes. All right. 10. The average age of children being groomed online through social media and apps is 10 to 13.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Wow.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
8. The number 8. It takes less than 8 days to groom and recruit a child to have them either send an inappropriate picture to someone they don't know or to potentially meet up with that stranger.
Wow.
Here's the big number, 21. In 2021, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reported 21.7 million child sexual abuse material pieces reported to them.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So this is not an over there issue. It's a right here in your backyard issue. And where you live, because I'm native, right? I'm Cherokee and Choctaw. So where you live is a high indigenous population. They're as at risk as anyone else, if not more so.
Oh, my goodness. I guess you kind of wonder what else do they really do in Ethiopia, because I see all these ads all the time that, poverty is like 98%, hunger is at an all-time high, and they're urging to give. But then over in Ethiopia, you give me the figure that they make, what you say, was it 150 million or 150 billion off of child trafficking?
No. Globally.
Globally,
Human trafficking globally is a $150 billion industry.
Wow.
It's just below drugs. It's outpaced guns.
Oh, my gosh. That is so unbelievable. And
yeah.
And of course, the whole thing began with the award-winning film Trapped in the Trade. We'll talk about that in just 1 minute. We'll continue with your Paving Way Foundation in just 1 minute, Jan. First, you listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international war-winning author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/me and Molson-Zia for great books and merchandising and more. Amazon.com/me and Molson-Zia. And also, don't forget to support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, and themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the founder of Paving Way Foundation, committed to empowering communities to stop the cycle of child trafficking and online exploitation. Jan Edwards here on The Mike Wagner Show. And let's talk about the movie which pretty much spearheaded the whole thing, the award-winning film Trapped in the Trade, which takes the audience through one girl's journey of being targeted, groomed, recruited, and trapped into being sold for sex. And tell us more about that film and, what it just got you going about it.
Absolutely. So when I came back from Ethiopia and I found out that the average age of a child being recruited was so young, I immediately thought, okay, well, I'm going to go talk to their parents. Well, I have a surprise for you, Mike. Most parents don't really want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, and I get it. It's an uncomfortable topic. I'm like, not a problem. I'll go talk to your kids. So and media is such a great way to have that kind of conversation because the film does the heavy lifting. It tells the story. It's a short film. It's 28 minutes, and it really takes everyone through the grooming, the recruitment experience, how, why she feels trapped because she did something she might not have should have done. And then, as a child, because our prefrontal cortex, our decision-making part of our brain, it's not fully developed until you're in your late 20s, early 30s. So the snap decisions our teenagers make, it's one of those snap decisions. I'm going to this party. And at this party, I'm not going to share the whole thing because you can't see it online. You have to invite us in because it doesn't have a happy ending.
Right.
And we use our film, right? We use our film to have empowering conversations with our kids because once they see how it happens and they see how quickly it happens, it's like their hearts open up to having a dialogue about, okay, how do I prevent this? How do I keep this from happening? And that's really why we wrote the film. I wrote it in 2 days. It was a total download from above. And we shot it in 2 weeks. We had it edited and it was out into the market in 2017. We did 2 years of market research before we stood in front of a bunch of kids. And it leaves kids in a funky place, which is why I don't leave it up online. But we use that place to be able to have the empowering conversations to engage with critical thinking like, okay, Mike, you're at a party. You see something happening to one of your buddies or a girl. What do you do? Right? Mm-hmm. And so it gets their brain engaged in, well, I don't know what I do. It's like, great, let's talk about it. What other ideas do you have? So you start this really great conversation with these young people that when they discover what they would do, when they start to create and be in the inquiry of, well, maybe I'd pull her out of that situation. Maybe I'd call 911. Maybe I'd check with a friend of mine and we'd see how we could interrupt her from being alone with this person. Like, they really start to do the thinking. So then they actually come up with their own solutions. It's not some old person who really anybody over 20 is older than them. It's not some old person telling them what to do. It's them doing the thinking. It's them doing the work to figure out what they would do. And then when presented with that situation, they do. And we always give them the 800 number, right? There's there's a hotline number. So anybody that ever sees human trafficking or they think they witness human trafficking, they can always call the hotline, the United States hotline, which is 888-3737-888. I'm going to say it again. It's 888-3737-888. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's 100% anonymous. And the first question they'll ask you is, are you safe? And you say, yep, I'm at the corner of X and Y. I'm at ABC convenience store, and there's just something not right. There's an older person with 2 younger kids. They're not dressed appropriate for the weather. It just feels off, and they will tell you exactly what to do. They'll either point you to the local police, they'll take your information, they will guide you to next steps. Because what we've discovered, Mike, is mostly people have seen something and they just weren't equipped to know what to do. I don't want you to put yourself in an uncomfortable or dangerous situation, and I want you to take an action. So this is a simple action people can take that can potentially save a life.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's very important as well, too. And it also says you also learn the signs as well, too. Like, what are some of the other signs to look out for, like with child abuse, exploitation, and everything like that?
Sure. Well, for parents, because, my kids don't have to leave their house to be exploited. Remember those 21.7 million images of child sexual abuse material that were reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children? Those came from someone's cell phone. Those came from a child's cell phone. They took an inappropriate picture, or someone enticed them to take an inappropriate picture. So our kids don't have to leave the house to be exploited. And that's the important piece. So for parents, you want to keep a lookout on, are your kids starting to withdraw from normal activities, right? Are they spending time with new people? Are their grades having a dramatic drop? I'm not talking about getting a C on one test. I'm talking, did your A student go to a C student in less than a semester? Are they missing school? Things like that you want to be on top of. And I invite parents, I don't want you to be a helicopter parent. I want you to be a stealth parent, so you know exactly what's happening from a distance so that you still give your kids space so they feel trusted.
Mm-hmm. And also today that they're more isolated, lonely, afraid, and looking for connection, especially in social media. And that seems to be more rampant going on than it was, 10 years ago when social media was just getting started, even 20 years ago when social media, just wasn't happening at the time.
Yes. So that's why, parents, you just want to engage in conversations with your kids. And we have a great tool on our website. It's called the Parent Toolkit. They can download it for free. It's like 8 pages, but it gives you some really great questions to be in the inquiry with your child, because you can't just come and go, okay, I heard this thing on the radio. What do? It just doesn't work, right? Our kids are already bombarded with all kinds of things with finger wagging. It doesn't work. So you can, something so simple. It's like, so I was listening to Mike's podcast today, and he had a really interesting guest on, and she shared some facts that I was like, hang on a second. I vaguely remember hearing about this. Have you heard about human trafficking? Did you know they use social media platforms to recruit kids? Did you, so it's this inquiry. It's like, honey, have you heard that? And they're going to say whatever they say, and you at least get to start a conversation with your child. And you do it continually over time. You ask about TikTok. You ask about Kick. You ask about Ask FM. You just be in the inquiry of what they're up to versus accusatory, right, which is going to send your kid the other way. And eventually, you're creating a safe space. They feel, okay, you're not going to hurt them or kill them or disown them if they do something stupid, because that is how kids feel. And one day, your child might come up to you and go, hey, Mom, do you remember that thing we talked about a couple of months ago? And you're going to say, yes, of course, honey. Why? They're going to say, well, I did something that I think I might not have should have, and now I'm scared and I don't know what to do. And right there, as a parent, you got one shot. You got one shot, and you got to take a deep breath and be like, honey, it's okay. We're going to work it out. Let's talk about it. Right. And that's all you just real even keel, no panic. You can be panicking inside, not a problem. Because the moment you yell, they're going to make the assumption it's their fault when it's not, because our kids are being intentionally manipulated. Remember, their prefrontal cortex is not fully developed, Mike. So they're making snap decisions when they're upset, and the predators know this and they're taking advantage of it. So we really can't yell at our children for it, because they, honest to God, don't know. They really, really, really don't know. And unless someone comes in and trains them, they're out there flailing in the wind. Parents are out there flailing in the wind. And that's why we're committed to educating both parents and young people about what this is, so they're empowered to stop it in its tracks. The kids are like, nope, I'm not accepting that DM. I don't know you. And for parents to be like, not on my watch, are you going to go after my kids? So it's arm in arm versus separating and dividing, which there's plenty of that happening right now. We don't really need any more of that. We just need to come together and be as one against these online predators.
And what's the other ways to keep our children safe?
Well, outside of having conversations, there's a couple of really good apps parents can download. It does drive their kids crazy, but that's okay. I'm just saying, it's all to keep them safe. That's our job. Bark.us will actually monitor the conversations. It will monitor messages and things like that. So you can see if there's inappropriate pictures that are on this person's social media page. You can, it'll monitor texts. As a parent, you just got to set it all up and, sit down with your child and tell them why. Because if you go on to Bark's app store for kids, they don't like it. And it's because the parents have forced them to do that. Well, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be that kind of parent. It just doesn't work. It generally backfires. And be like, honey, we're putting this on your devices because it's not you I don't trust, it's others. And we're going to work it out so that it works to protect you and keep you safe.
Okay.
And then lastly, of course, they can always call us and invite us to come speak to their students. I actually have mission ambassadors all over the country. I don't really have anybody in North Dakota, but I do in South Dakota. And we love going into schools and talking with young people. So there's always an opportunity for people to become involved and become volunteers and be trained where they can go into the schools and talk to the kids as well.
Okay. And also, lastly, how can we help?
Well, there's two ways you can help. One, share what you learn. Share what you learn. I'm going to go back to that number 8 days. There was a little girl here in Apopka, Florida, that was groomed and recruited over Instagram in 8 days. A guy from Georgia drove down and picked her up. She willingly got in the car. Luckily, they got her before she crossed state lines. So there's stories that you can share, right? I promise you, if you go and look, just type in human trafficking in your Google, box, or your search box, or your Firefox box, or whatever that is, right? That you'll get article after article after article, and you can go over that with your kids. So share what you've learned. 2, put the hotline number in your phone. It's there just in case you need it, and it gives you access to actually taking an action that can save a life. And lastly, we are a 501c3. If anything I have said has moved, touched, and inspired you, you can always, always, always pray for us. Follow us on social media, which is @PavingW, both on Instagram and Facebook. Or lastly, feel free to make a contribution because, like you, we're out to make a difference, and we'd like to put gas in our car and eat.
I'm sure we all do. And where can we get more information about Paving the Way?
We can, your listeners can go to pavingthewayfoundation.org. And we've got lots of resources on our website for them, lots of videos, and we also have a YouTube channel, so they can go to our YouTube channel as well and watch some of those videos with their kids.
That sounds amazing, and we'll find out more what's coming up for Jan Edwards and more in Paving the Way Foundation. We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international war-ring author Mia Molson-Zia of Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the founder of Paving the Way Foundation, Jan Edwards, after this time up.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mia Molson-Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the founder of Paving the Way Foundation, Jan Edwards, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Jan, it's been great having you on and, talking about paving the way and also about the movie Trapped in the Trade and how to stop child sex trafficking and its tracks as well, too. You gave us some great information. And what can we expect from you and your organization in 2021 and beyond, Jan?
Well, since 2021's over.
I mean 22. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You know what? Look, it's so early. And 2021 was a really interesting year for us. We actually were able to go out and make a really, really big difference with our community in new and in exciting ways. And in 2022, I think there's two things I'm super excited about. One is I finished writing the sequel to the movie. It does have a happy ending, so we're going to be looking for funding for that and be able to film that towards the end of the year. And then to go along with that film, we're actually developing a workbook, for lack of a better term, that parents and kids can sit down and work through together.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use it based on our film. So the parents can actually have the dialogue too, because human trafficking knows no socioeconomic, meaning doesn't matter how much money you make. Geographic, doesn't matter where you live, or demographic, meaning it has no age barrier. There are women that are 55 that are targeted. There are little boys that are 10 years old that are targeted, right? So age is meaningless to these people. So it's important that everybody be aware and everybody be on the lookout. So we'll have a workbook probably by the end. My goal is to have it launched by the end of next year, so we can go into 2023 Human Trafficking Awareness Month with the film, with our workbook, and we're working on a couple of other things that I don't want to talk about because it's super top secret, but I'm very excited about it.
And we're excited as well, too, Jan. We're glad you're in the cause to put an end to child sex trafficking. That is so amazing. And who do you consider your biggest influence in your career, Jan?
Whew. The biggest influence in my career. Well, I would have to say two people. One for me is an obvious, God, right? He's the one that laid this on my heart. He's the one that has me doing the work and guides my steps. So, I am obedient and I go where I'm supposed to go. The second one I would have to say is I had a phenomenal boss when I worked for Time Warner. Her name is Ann Ragsdale. And, sorry, I get emotional because she was such an extraordinary leader, and she demanded the best out of everyone every day. So you just bring you brought your best today, and then you brought your next best tomorrow. And she did it. You wanted to win because you knew she had your back. And that was really, she's probably one of my biggest influences. And then my parents, my dad was a Navy pilot. My mom was a occupational therapist, hand therapist by trade, and they were both just inspiring to me to go out and make a difference in the world. And they're flying with the big guy, and I hope they're proud of what their kids are doing.
Mm-hmm. And certainly amazing as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Follow your heart. The money will come. It just will. It's really easy to get sucked up into the, bigger car, bigger house, bigger, better, whatever. And when you follow your heart, there's such deep fulfillment there. And the money will come. You don't want to, and then it's not like magical. But when you're passionate, and you're passionate is people catch a hold of that passion, they'll support you all the way. I have, cheerleaders literally from around the globe wanting me to succeed. And it's your passion will help pave the way for your success.
And that's so amazing. I love your story, Jan. That is so great. Once again, founder of Paving the Way Foundation, Jan Edwards here on the Mike Wagner Show. Jan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. And make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. We'd love to have you back on. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people check out your foundation? Also, check out the film and how to contribute and how can we help?
Sure. So you want to go to pavingthewayfoundation.org. There's lots of resources on the page, and there's that donate button right there in the front page. Always appreciative because we're doing out doing the important work on the street, with the kids. The second thing is you can follow us on social media at PavingW. Our mantra is educate, empower, prevent. So please share what you learned on our websites and what you learn on our social media pages with others so they can be educated and empowered as well. And look for, our upcoming sequel to the film Trapped in the Trade. And you can watch the trailer and learn more about that film and all the awards that we've won at trappedfilm.com.
We certainly will do so. Once again, Jan, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing and looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch, and we look forward to having you on again. We wish you all the best, and you definitely got a great future ahead of you, and we wish you all the best with your organization.
Thanks, Mike.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.